Hey GED students, it's GED question of the day time, and we are continuing our exploration of circles and the circle formulas on the GED. So grab your GED formula sheet and your TI-30XS multi-view GED calculator and let's give this a try. It says a circle has a radius of 11.2 inches. Let me bust out my circle. A radius of 11.2 inches. And you know, I'm a lazy mathematician, so I'm not going to spell out radius. I'll just say the R. The radius is 11.2 inches. And then it says, what is the area of the circle to the nearest tenth of a square inch? So sometimes in geometry, you don't really need a formula, but circles are one time where I'm like, guys, just use the formula sheet. It would be really hard for me to figure out the area of a circle because it would mean me trying to figure out how many 1-inch squares to fit over the circle. And as you know, squares don't fit perfectly on circles. So that would get really, really messy. So formula it is. So go pull out your GED formula sheet. Notice that the first section is titled perimeter, but the second section is titled area. Look under the area section since they told us to find the area of a circle and pick out the area of a circle formula. There's only one formula for you, and it says A is equal to pi. That's how you read that symbol. We call that pi. R, and then this little floating 2, we read that as square. So A is equal to pi r squared. So first good step when you're doing geometry on the GED is just find the formula that applies. Almost every problem, and I can think of only a couple of exceptions on the GED that have to do with geometry, with shapes, are formula problems. So it's not really geometry at this point. Once I bust out the formula, I just have to have my algebra skills. So what would we do next after finding a formula? Well, the next thing we're going to do is substitute in any known values. Anything we know, like if we know the radius, we'll put the radius in. Whoa. Sorry, spelling is hard. Substitutor? What was I spelling? Substitute. This is why I'm a math teacher, you guys, because I didn't want to have to learn how to spell. Okay, so I know some things. Here's one thing I know. No, I don't know the area. That's the thing they asked me to find. You know, it says, what is the area? So it's an unknown. So I'll leave AA. But I do know the value of pi. Pi is a number. It's a known number. It's not a mystery like X, like we sometimes use variables for. It's a known number, but the problem is it's an ugly number. It's this long, ugly decimal, 3.14159, yada, 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 and it goes on, literally forever. And so you can feel free to use the decimal approximation for pi, 3.14. And this is written on the formula sheet, but it's not written here by area. It's up under circumference of a circle. It does tell you that pi is approximately 3.14. Okay, so first thing I do, I substitute in for pi. I also know what r is. Now, do you see how pi and r are shoved together in the formula? That means they're multiplying. So bust out a parentheses and put r inside that. So we said our R stands for radius. And look, they told you exactly what you need. That's 11.2. It says that's the radius. I need radius. I have radius. Let me plug 11.2 right in there. Now, don't forget that there was a square in the formula, so I need a square here. And now I've substituted in my known values. And now notice, all I have over here on the right-hand side of this equation are numbers and operations. I can go ahead and plug this entire thing into my calculator. Here's how. I'll type 3.14. I'll open up a parentheses, open parentheses, and type 11.2. I'll close the parentheses, and then to get this square, there is an x squared button, x squared. So I'll type x squared. And now press enter, and you should get the solution. A is equal to 393.8816. Now, some of you guys noticed that my equal sign got a little wavy. That's because I'm an anal retentive mathematician who never uses an equal sign, or I should say I never use an equal sign when it's a lie. Well, hopefully I don't. So anyway, remember I said 3.14 is actually not exactly pi, just kind of close to pi. So that's what this wavy equal sign means. That's why I used it to say, well, I'm rounding now. I'm approximating. That's all that means. And I don't think you need to know that for the GED. I just don't want you guys to be confused by my symbols. Okay, so I'm done with this except for two things at the end. You need to round if asked to round, A, and B, you need a unit. So let's go see if we have any rounding directions. Original problem said, what is the area of the circle to the nearest tenth of a square inch? The nearest tenth of a square inch. Okay, a tenth is 1 decimal place. So I'm going to come in after 1 decimal place, and I'm going to put what I call my chopping block. I'm going to chop it right here. It's not the tenths place you need to worry about when you're rounding to the tenths place. It's the next one, the hundredths, the ones you're about to throw away. So take a look at this number. Is it halfway through our number system yet? Are we halfway through our digits? Well, as I hope you guys know, 5 is halfway through the digits. So this is definitely more than halfway. I'm above 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round up. Instead of calling that 393.8, I'm going to call that 393.9. So I get 393.9 and 393.9. Oh my gosh, you guys. My mouth and my hand are having fights. 393.9. There we go. Okay. So 393.9 what? Well, 393.9 square inches. Now you might be saying to me, Kate, what the heck is a square inch? Remember when I told you if we were doing area by hand, it would be the number of squares to cover the circle? That's what square inches means. Little squares that are 1 inch by 1 inch. We always measure area in square units. And since mathematicians are too lazy to spell, we abbreviate square inches by writing the abbreviation for inches and putting this little 2 on there. Square inches. All right, if you have any questions about this or any other GED math topic, be sure to drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it.